During Egyptian cinema's most brilliant period, a remarkable voice emerged that touched the hearts of countless people across the Arab world. This is more than just the tale of an extraordinary artist. It is the profound story of a woman's spiritual awakening and transformation. We are speaking of Leila Mourad, a woman who began her life in a Jewish household and ultimately found her path to Islam. Her spiritual voyage was entirely her own decision, guided by the deepest calling of her heart, and it continues to inspire millions around the world to this day. The date was February 17, 1918. In Cairo's Al Daher district, a baby girl entered the world within a family devoted to music. Her parents named her Lilian Zaki Ibrahim Mourad. Her father, Zaki Mourad, had established himself as an accomplished singer, musician, and served as a Jewish cantor. Her mother, Gamila Ibrahim Rusho, came from Polish Jewish heritage. Music and artistic expression flowed through this family like lifeblood. Their home regularly hosted musical gatherings, and young Lilian grew up surrounded by her father's beautiful house melodies. Nobody could have predicted that this small child would eventually rise to become one of the most celebrated stars throughout the entire Arab region. When Lilian turned 9 years old, she made her first appearance on a professional stage. The venue was Sala Badia, one of Cairo's most prestigious music halls, founded by the celebrated dancer and performer Badia Masabni. Masabni immediately saw the extraordinary potential in this young girl and decided to mentor her personally. This moment marked the true beginning of the journey that would eventually transform Lilian into the legendary Leila Mourad. By the time she reached 15 in 1932, her debut film arrived in theaters. The movie was called Al Dahaya, which translates to The Victims. Originally produced as a silent film, it was later enhanced with sound, featuring Leila's singing. Her voice possessed an enchanting quality that completely captivated everyone who heard it. Leila received her musical training from two important figures, her father and Dawood Hosni, himself a distinguished Jewish musician. Hosni had achieved the remarkable feat of creating the first operetta in Arabic and had composed two exceptional songs specifically for Leila. A significant breakthrough arrived in 1938 when Muhammad Abdel Wahab, one of Egypt's most renowned composers, discovered Leila's talent. He wasted no time in casting her in his production, Yahya al-Hub, which means Long Live Love. The film became a tremendous hit, and almost overnight, Leila Mourad transformed into Egypt's most prominent star. The following 6 years saw Leila collaborating with director Togo Mizrahi on 5 enormously successful films. Mizrahi played a crucial role in developing Leila's confidence as a performer. He helped her overcome her natural shyness and taught her to express deep emotions freely before the camera. A remarkable fact about her career is that 17 out of her total 28 films featured her name Leila in the title itself. Films like Leila bint al-Fukara, Leila bint al-Madaris, and Leila bint al-Rif all became massive box office successes. The year 1945 brought a pivotal moment in Leila's personal life when she chose to marry Anwar Wagdi, a highly respected Egyptian actor and director. Her father strongly objected to this union because Anwar Wagdi practiced Islam. However, Leila followed her heart and committed to this relationship. Wagdi proved to be a brilliant filmmaker who elevated Leila's artistic work to unprecedented levels. Their collaboration produced numerous memorable films, with Ghazala al-Banat, meaning the flirtation of girls, standing out as their most celebrated achievement. This particular film remains recognized as one of Egyptian cinema's timeless classics. Several months into her marriage during 1946, something profound began stirring within Leila's heart. Living alongside her husband exposed her to Islamic teachings and practices. One morning during the sacred month of Ramadan, Leila awoke to the sound of the call to prayer, drifting from a nearby mosque on Sharif Street. As the words Allahu Akbar reached her ears, an unexpected sense of peace and serenity washed over her entire being. This was far more than just a sound. It was a spiritual summons that resonated directly with her soul. Leila questioned her husband about why he had never encouraged her to embrace Islam. On that very day, she expressed her desire to accept Islam without delay. This momentous decision belonged entirely to Leila herself. Years later, her son, Zaki Fatin Abdel Wahab, spoke in a television interview, making it absolutely clear that his mother faced no pressure whatsoever from anyone. The choice came purely from within her own heart. Leila embraced Islam privately in 1946, then officially documented her religious conversion in government records the following year, in 1947. She maintained discretion about this deeply personal matter for a period, being sensitive to her father's emotions. However, when the first Arab-Israeli conflict erupted in 1948, she publicly declared her acceptance of Islam. Following her conversion to Islam, Leila's entire life took on new meaning and direction. She began integrating Islamic principles into every aspect of her daily existence. The 5 daily prayers became her routine. She observed fasting throughout the blessed month of Ramadan. Reading and contemplating the Holy Quran became an essential part of each day. She embraced both the commands of Allah and the teachings of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, with complete sincerity. Islam became far more than a religious label for Leila. It became a comprehensive guide for how she lived her life. The impact of Leila's conversion extended well beyond her own personal transformation and touched her entire family. Her sister Samiha eventually married a Muslim businessman and also converted to Islam. Her brother, Munir Mourad, who had built his own successful career as a musician, similarly chose to accept Islam later in his life. These family conversions demonstrate convincingly that Leila's decision stemmed from genuine spiritual conviction rather than simply accommodating her marriage. The historical context of this period is important to understand. Anti-Jewish sentiment was rising sharply throughout Egypt and the broader Arab world. The Palestine situation had created intense regional tensions, yet historians consistently note that Leila's path to Islam cannot be reduced to mere political expedience. Those who knew her best repeatedly emphasized that her spiritual seeking and inner truth led her to Islam. The call to prayer moved her deeply. The verses of the Quran spoke to her soul. As she learned about Islamic teachings, her heart confirmed that she had found the authentic path. Leila's artistic career flourished even after her conversion. In 1953, she received the prestigious honor of being selected as the official singer of the Egyptian Revolution, an achievement that placed her ahead of even the legendary Kulthum. However, this period of triumph was followed by severe challenges. False rumors began circulating in Lebanese and Syrian newspapers, claiming that Leila had traveled to Israel and financially supported its military. These accusations were completely fabricated, yet they resulted in multiple Arab nations banning her films and music. The Egyptian government conducted a thorough investigation and completely cleared Leila of any wrongdoing. She responded to these attacks with a powerful statement of identity, declaring, "I am an Egyptian Muslim." These difficult times tested Leila's character and faith. She found her strength through her belief in Allah and responded with remarkable patience. Despite having to defend her innocence and reveal private financial information, she never wavered in her faith. Historical accounts suggest that Egyptian President Gamal Abdel Nasser himself intervened, reportedly making the lifting of restrictions on Leila's work a prerequisite for the political union between Egypt and Syria. This intervention demonstrated just how significant Leila's cultural importance had become. In 1954, while standing at the absolute pinnacle of her artistic achievements, Leila made a surprising announcement. She was retiring completely from both film and music. She never provided a detailed public explanation for this decision. However, many observers believe that a combination of factors influenced her choice: the ongoing political complexities, the persistent challenges related to her Jewish background, and most importantly, her growing desire to dedicate herself more fully to spiritual pursuits. At just 38 years old, with her career at its height, she walked away from the entertainment industry entirely. The remainder of Leila's years were characterized by quiet devotion and worship. During the 1970s, she made a brief return to public life during Ramadan, appearing on radio to present Fawazir Ramadan, a beloved traditional program of Ramadan riddles. This participation represented a beautiful expression of her Islamic commitment. She lived authentically as a devout Muslim, maintaining her prayer schedule faithfully and spending her time in remembrance of Allah. On November 21, 1995, Leila Mourad passed away in a Cairo hospital. She received a proper Islamic burial. The respected Egyptian publication Al-Kawakib published a moving tribute noting that she had lived as a Muslim, died as a Muslim, and was laid to rest in a Muslim cemetery. These words stand as a testament to the authenticity of her spiritual transformation.